class for testing the account trigger logic. Okay, this is the account trigger logic. What it is doing, whenever the account record is updated, it is trying to update the contacts records department. Okay, so for that, what we need account record as well as contact record. Okay, so let's go and create account record first, and then we'll see. What I'm trying to do is, so in the previous test class, I have explained test setup, right? Now I'll go and explain how to create the records directly. Okay, is test static void contacts date test. Okay, is what I'm doing. First, how we are going to test that? First, we need to create the account record. Then we need to create the contacts records. Then only when you update the account, then it will be updated on the contacts. So let's create account A equals to new account of name equals to my test. Okay. Insert A means record is inserted. You need to create contacts as well, right? So let's write list of, I'm going to create some contacts, or let's say first let's test with the single contact C equals to new contact C equals to, we have to give last name equals to my test contact. Insert A. Finally, when you update count, then contact should be updated with the department, right? Now to verify whether the contacts department is updated or not, you have to query the record, because you have to check whether it is updated or not. So this, what you need to do is contact updated contact equals to select department from contact where id equals to c dot id. Okay, this is C. Okay, contact C. Now here, give the system dot set equals to, what is the expected one? Admin as the department, right? Here, it's going to update to the admin. Give it as admin. And what is the actual results? You have to check this one. Dot admin, sorry, department. Okay, now execute this one. See what you are trying to do. Whatever the testing you are going to perform manually means if you want to test that, what you will do, you will create account first and then you will create contact. Then when you update the account, then you will verify in the contact whether the department is updated with admin or not. The same logic what we are going to do in the test class as well. Like first thing, creating the account, second, creating the contact, and then we are updating the account to update the contacts department as admin. And then finally what we are trying to do, once the contact is updated, the actual data will be in the database. So we are querying the record from the database and then verifying with that expected functionality. Just test it. Something is failing. Just check what is the failure. Asset actually is admin, sorry, expected is admin and actually is null. Okay, why? How come this is failed? Tests contacts. Yes, this is failing because see account and should be this contact should be associated with this account, right? So now we don't know which contact we have to update. That's why it is failing. What we need to do is we have to give account ID equals to dot ID. Means now the, this trigger will update the records with related to this account ID only. But in the while creating the record, we have not given this parent record as this one. Now test it. See this is success, and you can verify that this is 100% covered. Okay, now go to the contact trigger. This is the contact trigger, right? When the contact is updated, see this account will be updated and account type will be added here, right? Now see if something is covered or not. This is also 100% covered because inside the account trigger itself, what we are trying, we are updating the account, then account is trying to update the contacts. So this recursively contact trigger also covered. Okay, so to just verify this one, query the account type, then add one more asset. Series account updated. Okay, see if you try to add a dot type here, it will be null because updated data will be inside the database only. That's why we are writing the SQL query. Select type from account where ID equals to a dot ID system dot set equals what is the expectation? That expectation should be prospect. Okay, this is the expectation, what I'm expecting from the trigger output. Then this updated account type should be prospect. Okay, now the two triggers are covered. Just see this. Okay, see this account trigger 100%. Yes. Okay, then contact trigger 100%. Okay, so you better to write the code always to cover 100% code. Okay, so this is about the brief on test classes. We will see the asynchronous apex and test classes in coming classes, and I'll explain what is the trigger framework, how it will be working. Okay, I hope you guys understand this. Any questions on this? Now, if you see the code coverage of organization, this is getting increased 33%. Okay, just try to write the code like the same way. Okay, okay. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
I have shared some code that is not working. Any mistake on that? What?
You had so here the yesterday task. What I'm going to explain. Okay, so my requirement is like, did you try and did you complete that? You can record that contact IDs. Very simple logic. Why you guys are worried about that much? Okay. Okay. So when a record if record is insert and trigger dot is after. Okay. After creating the record. Okay. The same logic. What you need to do is you have to use is insert, is update you have to do, and then is delete. After delete, then is undelete. Okay, so these many triggers you have to, these many conditions you have to perform. Okay, first thing, when a contact is created, you have to update the contact. Okay, fine. So what you need to do, you have to update the account ID. You have to get the account ID first from the contact. Okay, so map of ID, comma, account. You have to update the accounts first. Map of the account, because at the contact and account both are having ID as the common. Okay, so here we are going to iterate for contact C trigger dot new. Okay, so if string dot is not blank of C dot account, means if account is populated on the contact record, what you need to get, you have to put account start of C dot account ID. Why we need to update the account record. Keep this, and after the for loop, get all the records first. Map of this account map equals to map of ID comma account. We need select ID is required, contact IDs. IDs double underscore C from account, where ID in this one account start is it. These are already practiced. Is it. Okay, now we have accounts as well. Very simple. Try this. Save it. Okay, once this is done, what you need to do is you have to iterate again. This one. Okay, if string is not blank, what you need to do is you have to get the account A equals to account dot get off C dot account ID. Okay, so till now you guys are good. You are getting the account, that is fine. Finally, what you need to do, A dot contact IDs double underscore C equals to, see this, if it is blank, means if this is the first contact, what you need to do is use ternary operator. String dot is blank. If A dot contact IDs is a blank, then this should be C dot ID. If it is not blank, then it should be added like comma plus C dot ID. Okay, contact IDs, if it is single account, single contact, it will be like this. Then finally, what you need to do, you have to update dot accounts. We have to update because it should be stored inside the database. See this? Is there anything difficult? Simple logic. Now let's go and test this one. Okay. Accounts. Okay. Test account of X. Do we have any contacts? We don't have any contacts. And detail screen. Do you have any contact IDs? Contact IDs. No contact IDs are there. Okay. Let's go on back. Create one contact. Last name I am giving test one. Not giving anything. Simple. Save. So one contact is created. Contact ID is added. Second time, go to add another contact. Okay, like test 2. I'm giving. Let's save it. It's getting paused by system valid ID 003. To insert line number 19, which trigger contact trigger. Contact IDs is blank. Okay. So contact IDs plus okay. Now try this. Invalid ID string. Is this? Okay. So it was trying to expect the right. Now here if you see this, comma separated. Okay. Now okay. So what should happen if you delete this? Okay. Or let's say just use this simple logic, the same logic. Okay. For update. Okay, for update is the logic, same logic, but here you need to check the condition, right? If the trigger.new and trigger.old, whether these two values are same or not. Okay, just try this. I'll write for delete. Okay, this you guys try this. Okay, I'll write for delete for trigger dot okay, contact C. Same logic, what you need to do. System. Okay. So here one important thing is, as it is delete, records will be in the old map. Right? Old map. So what you need to do is you have to replace this one. Right? So if contact IDs is should be done something like replacing. Right? So if contains string dot contains of what it should be, comma plus c dot id. If it contains this, if it contains, you need to replace account dot content dot account IDs dot replace this one with this. Else you need to replace this one. Okay, just try. Contains. Sorry, this one. Okay, now go and delete one record. See, I'm going to delete test 2. So, okay, this is deleted successfully and go to the contact IDs that has been removed. Okay, so why I have written like this is this logic, just this logic is because if the account ID or contact ID is a second or third one, it will be comma separated, right? Comma, then ID will be there. That's what the program what we have written. That's why I'm removing comma as well as ID with just empty. So if it is the last contact, and let's say only one contact is there, then it won't be having comma. So just replace the ID with blank. Now here, if you see that, there is only one record. Let's go and delete this record. Okay, this is done. Okay, so now you have to write for and delete. Okay, can you, that is done. Can you pause the recording? Stop recording.